Hi, I'm Matt Ford, Sales Engineer here at Foursys, and welcome to a short video on the solution for the recent Foursys puzzle. First of all, I'd like to say well done to all those who did actually manage to get the correct answer, and a good effort to those who tried but didn't quite get there. Also like to extend a particular well done to Jamie Green from Carter Rock Solicitors, who was one of the first people to actually solve this particular puzzle. Now, as you can see here, the puzzle itself is put into various different sections of prose, so we'll start off with the first area. Now, the key bit here is the white noise. Now, this obviously lists references through to the QR code we've got at the top. You can access the QR code in various different ways, of course using a QR code app on a smartphone. Alternatively, you can actually copy the image or copy the link into a particular website. There's quite a few QR code reading websites out there that gives you the URL that's associated with. Now, in this particular instance, it actually links through to our password management site, and from here we then need to take the next step within the puzzle. Now, the puzzle states you need to find a hidden crypt amongst a wall of script. Now, what we can do here is just have a quick look through the website, see if the cursor changes as you move over any of the words, any of the icons, anything along those kind of lines. Now, what actually happens here, if you hover the mouse over the image we've got here, there's actually a link associated with that particular image. What we can do, if we just copy that link into Notepad, you'll see that links through to a particular file, nothing to see here.tc, elsewhere within the Foursys website. So clicking on that link, you obviously download that particular file to your hard drive, and with a TC extension, that's actually a Truecrypt file, an encrypted file, so you'll need a copy of Truecrypt downloaded in order to be able to read that. Now, of course, we've got that particular file. It's easy enough to be able to mount that. The way Truecrypt works is it mounts it as a particular drive letter, but of course we need a password to be able to unlock that first part of the puzzle. Now, we've got a few, again, amongst the text here, we've got a few options. We've got password, which has got a mixture of letters and numbers, a few other different options in there we could have taken. But what we've actually got within this link here to an image file with a post-it note and a password written down on a post-it note, which we know is all far too common. So the first thing we'll do is we can actually unlock that particular Truecrypt file using that particular password. So we open up Truecrypt, select the particular file we want to open, choose Mount, and then it prompts us for that particular password. So we'll go back to our web page and put that password into there, and as you'll see here, that will mount it under a Z drive. So if we go back to my computer and we'll have a look at the Z drive, there's a Z drive mounted, and these are those particular files that we've got in here. So this is what's in that particular Truecrypt file, and from here we then need to look at these files individually to forward on to the next part of the puzzle. Now, what we can do is we have a look at this file here first, which is just titled with 3 M's. We don't know what it is, we don't know what particular type of file it is, and there's a couple of ways in which we can do this. One of which, of course, is by trial and error. We could put a JPEG, we could put a bitmap, we could put various different file extensions. We had a few people try to put another TC on the end to see if it was another encrypted volume. But what we can actually do is, if very simple, we just have a look at the properties of that particular file. We've actually got a description associated with that, which is the image hide encoder. Now, a quick search on the web and you'll see that is a particular program actually called image hide, which will allow you to use a tactic or a method called steganography, which is hiding information within a particular image. So what we can do, if we just modify that particular file name, we can put an executable on there, and that's the first part of that particular puzzle fixed, so we've got that file name. So the next thing we need to do is look at the other particular files we've got in there. The next one would be the video itself. Now, if we have a look through here, short video happened to be doing the rounds as at the time that I was putting this puzzle together, and it's simply just a man with a paintbrush with a very clever technique of being able to draw a snake just using the one brush and get all the lines and textures and everything else. Anyway, for those of you who were a little bit too impatient and didn't manage to look through most of the video, what we'll actually find is as we go through it, and we just missed it there. We've actually got an image spliced into the middle of that particular video, which we'll see here. There we go. This particular image of a car, and we've actually got the number plate on there which is circled for you. So that's going to be potentially another password or passphrase for you to be able to unlock the next stage of the puzzle. So make a note of that one. However, we still need to find an image to be able to put into that particular image hide program. So some people use this image of the car and manage to take it out of the video and use that, but that's not what we were looking for. We're actually still looking for the image elsewhere. Now also what we'll do, we'll move on to this particular text file, which seems to have a bit of a clue at the top and a load of encrypted text in the middle of there. Now this isn't necessarily something that you would have to solve in order to solve the whole puzzle, but it does certainly make things a little bit easier as you go along on to the next step, which we'll come to a bit later, and you'll hopefully understand why. Now some of the clue we've got here, I think they have sunk Mr. President, is an actual link through to something called the Playfair Cipher. Now this is something that was actually made famous in 1943 as the future President of the US, JFK. Actually used this in order to send a message regarding an American patrol boat that was sunk while he was on duty, and it was a very famous cipher used around about that time. So there's where the link to the president comes in. So if we take a copy of that particular information, let me close that one down. We'll take a copy of this text here and actually put it into the Playfair Cipher. Actually, as you can see, we've already got it in here, and have that decrypted. This is the text that actually comes out the other side. Now, putting this into a search engine will actually show you that it comes from a Roald Dahl book called the Min Pins, and there's a direct quote there that you can see on the Wikipedia page. So that's that particular information decrypted. Feel free to have a look through at the Playfair Cipher and see exactly how it works and how the codes are put together in your own time. So what do we have from that first bit of encrypted file that we picked up? We've got an executable file, so we know we're looking for an image. We have a passcode that's hidden within the video, and then we have some hints potentially in the other text file listed through to Roald Dahl, maybe the name of the book, something along those kind of lines. So what we need to do is we need to find the picture. Now the way that another feature of Truecrypt is the fact that you can hide another volume within there without it necessarily showing up that there's any free space or any indication from the outside that that's going to be the case. So what we need to do is actually dismount the Truecrypt file using that password, and then we actually remount it, but this time we use the password of the number plate from the car. If we do this, you'll see it's again listed under the Z drive, and if we open up the Z drive, we've got a folder called Deeper into the Crypt. We open this up and we've got a black and white picture affectionately titled Old Man, bitmap file in there. So this is the picture that we're actually going to need to put into the image hide program. So that's the next step that we need to follow. So if we open up the image hide program, as you can see, we've got all the files needed in there. We'll load the image into that. A nice old man, and there we got it within our steganography program. So the first thing we'll do, we'll actually hit read data, so it reads some of the information out of there. Now of course this is all encrypted, we need to get another password in order to decrypt this particular information. Now for those of you who a little bit more keenly eyed with your writers, you will actually see that this picture is of Roald Dahl. Now this is where the hint comes in with the particular quote that we'd got in there. If the picture wasn't somebody that you would recognise, then the quote would hopefully give you a bit more of a clue and a guess towards what the password is for here. So to simply decrypt the information in here, we use the surname of Roald Dahl, famous children's writer. So that's that particular part of the puzzle sorted. So now we're on to our last section. So we have decrypted the text, but we've just got a letter of lines and numbers, and of course the email address that you would need to send it through to once you've actually solved that. So what we need to do here, take a copy of this particular information. We'll fire that back up into Notepad, so we can keep that at hand. And let's just close the rest down. Now if we go back to our original page, back to the Foursys puzzle, the last bit you see here, you may feel the need to start from scratch and return to see the initial batch of text upon the page you view to reveal the secret word to you. So what we need to do here is these are actually referencing particular characters within that prose. So L2 would be line 2, W3 would be word 3, C4 would be character 4. So in this particular instance that would be a C, as you can see here, line 2, word 3, character 4, and then further down, so if we look into line 7, word 1, character 1, we get an O, and if we follow that down, we get so the secret word we're going to need is community, and that is exactly how you solve the recent Foursys puzzle. Again, thank you very much to everybody who took part, and I hope you had fun doing it, and hopefully we can do a few more later on.